Hey everybody, just to let everyone reminder that this was done in fun and in jest, and no ill will was meant towards any of the parties that made these comments. I plead with you to not also spread ill will to any of the commenters in this video and just have fun. All right, enjoy the video. Now, normally I don't read much of any books because there's big fancy words in those books like pomegranate and lapels. Way too complicated for me. But I recently discovered some reviews for romance books, and I just couldn't help myself. So to start off, Illiterate reads reviews. We're going to start off with a little book apparently called Icebreaker. You know when you read a book and you feel like if you don't read it in one sitting, you'll enjoy it less because the rush of the newness leaves and its appeal dies down? Yeah, this was not that. This book was everything. I mean, everything! I've highlighted so much, way too much. I've read this slowly because I knew it would be over and I'd be a wreck. And it has ruined me for all romance books. My standards are too high now. The writing was immaculate. I can go on and on about how beautifully written this masterpiece was. The diversity in this book was amazing to see. There was not a single dry page, not one. I drank every damn page like it was my only source of water. This wasn't the typical third act conflict type of book. Nope. It was riddled with ups and downs, but you can't help but feel everything with these characters. It had depth and was plain amazing till the freaking end. The epilogue was gorgeous. It was fluffy, adorable, drama-filled in the best way possible, and definitely spicy. Oof, the spice in this was so good. The small moments, guys. The small moments. They gave me all the feels. The soft touches. Him randomly tucking her hair behind her ear. Her just sitting there because he's so damn hot. The forehead kisses. The way he just calls him bub. Tee-hee, butterfly, butterfly. There's just so much more where that came from, I promise. Nate Hawkins is my newly anointed husband from sports romance. This man is the most caring, reckless, and loving creature that has managed to work his way into my soul. He's so thoughtless, and his inner monologue is so funny, but the banter is even better. Whatever that is, heart flame. He actually had his own life in this book too. Sometimes dual POVs just feels like one because they're both living the same thing. But this book showed the distinction between their thought process and how they're actually individuals, not the same brain. Gosh, Anastasia Allen was so relatable. It was so hard seeing her go through all that shit. But watching her grow stronger and healthier was so rewarding. I'm so proud of how she dealt with things. I love how she became amazing friends with the team and cared about them like a family. I loved her for saying what she wanted and sticking to it too. I'm so glad she had a spine and stood up for herself when it mattered. I'm genuinely so impressed with this debut novel that I cannot wait to read more from Hannah Grace. Whew! I didn't realize this review would be so long, but here I am. Ugh, it was amazing. This book has got to be the highlight of this year, for sure. 1000% recommend. Tags. 5-star gems. Blankets and cuddles. Book supremacy. Can reread over and over. Comfort and serotonin. I'm your daddy on the field, bitch. My babies, my children, my husband. Reread pending. You make me un polo loco. This. You've literally put in the words how I've been feeling about this book. It's been 3 weeks, and I can't finish it because I have too much of an attachment to it. OMG. This review makes me want to read this book for the 7th time. Beautifully written. You put my feelings and thoughts into words. I almost want to only read books you recommend. Review Queen Crown. I love this review so much. It's so true because everything I see, people are just like, this storyline is so boring, or there's just too much smut, Like, who cares? There are so many good scenes in this book, and there are so many that made my heart so warm, like it was screaming at the book, because Nate is so cute and kind to Stacy, and I love the characters and everything. Fuck this book and everybody in it. Stupid insta-love shit with a self-righteous, poorly executed, quote-unquote, girl boss MC, whose whole personality is being sassy and shallow, but really she's fighting demons, sad. Shut up. And the love interest is somehow even worse at the beginning of the book. He's said to be in love with the girl, and he wants to marry her, but completely forgets she even exists upon meeting Anastasia. By the way, Stacy is one of the ugliest nicknames I've ever heard of in my life. Bitch isn't the Loch Ness Monster. Second of all, the way he's immediately like, OMG, I would do anything to hear Stacy's laugh again. Shut the fucks up. You just met her. Please, like, it's actually painful. It's so fucking forced too. They don't have two molecules of chemistry to rub together. You can tell the author is literally forcing infatuation on Nathan. Third of all, the plotline is ass. The author is clearly going for an enemies to lovers, but Anastasia shouldn't have even been mad at Nathan in the first place because it was over a minuscule predicament that wasn't even remotely his fault. I was planning on being mad at you forever. Over fucking what? I get she didn't like him because he's a useless pushover douchebag who's literally obsessed with her, but she doesn't even gaff about it. It's just cuz his teammates' ex-girlfriends, boyfriends, or some shit who he has nothing to do with fucked up their rink. Fourth of all, nobody in this book has any decorum or home training. Why does Anastasia never wear any goddamn underwear to social outings? Nessie went commando to someone's birthday party. And I'm not sure about you, but I wouldn't want my boyfriend sleeping in another woman's bed because they're quote-unquote best friends, cough, Ryan, cough. And these bitches are talking about sex and having sex in Ubers like manners. There are other people in the fucking car. Oh my god. And for a final note, just how much I hate this stupid, useless couple, smiley face. Nathan's saying he won't fuck Anastasia when she's drunk. And number one, Nessie getting literally offended by him saying no, and going back to being a completely self-righteous bitch for no reason for a modern-day quote-unquote woke book. The word no doesn't seem to mean much when you, quote, can't take rejection well, quote, shut the fuck up. No consent is no consent. And number two, they fuck literally a couple days after, even though she's drunk again. So what was the point of that shit? Yeah, this is garbage. Okay, bye, love you. Tags, ugly. Her not wearing any underwear all the time actually made me want to rip the book. Who the fuck does that, girl? Okay, but Stacy is legitimately the nickname for Anastasia, and there's an incredibly famous one. I'm 50 pages in and enjoyed it, but choked on my coffee at bitch isn't the Loch Ness Monster, haha. Not gonna lie, the Uber scene and most of the interactions in this book are very relatable to my college experience, haha. But you're so passionate about your hate towards this book, and I respect that. Oh my god, you're so real. Like, how do I even describe Anastasia? Nah, she's a bitch to Nathan, and he didn't do anything to her, and now he's obsessed with her all of a sudden. It feels forced. Okay, I just wanted to say a few things. I 100% value your opinion on this book, but don't hate on things before making sure that it actually happened in the book. 1, her quote-unquote fuck buddy is called Ryan. 2, her bestie is called Lola. Lo. 3, Lo doesn't actually hate Olivia, Liv. She just despises that she got the part that she wanted in the play because she doesn't actually mind her. 4, she should actually finish the book before writing a review because Nate and Stacy end up sorting out their problems, start dating, and she has a close group of friends, and she dishes Aaron and paired skating all together when she does something awful, and overall being a dig in the book, so it does get better. This was everything I wanted and more. Stacy Nate will go down as some of my favorite people of all time, and y'all, Lola, Robbie, JJ, Russ, and the Punk Bunny group text, the entire dynamic of the friend group just made everything more enjoyable. And round of applause for my main man, Henry M.F. Turner. He is king. I'll take no arguments. not only amazing characters, but also positive conversations about therapy, diversity, and representation within the friend group, sex positive, banter and comedy, iconic relationships, immaculate romance, the spice, goodbye. I have nothing but amazing things to say about this. It wasn't all that plot heavy, so if you're a plot person, this may not be for you, but I'm a character person through and through, so this got me. I'ma shut up and just run and read it. Here I was just thinking this was just a casual, no commitment, no jealousy thing. Shut up, Anastasia. Is this what the kids are into nowadays? Am I too ancient, too old, too out of touch with reality to understand what Gen Z likes? Yeah, I'm not reading those. Yes, these are all quotes from the book. Well, there was zero plot. Every single character talked like they were 15 and just found out about sex through GIFs and Tumblr. And honestly, sex is about the only thing they talk about. Every single page. There's nothing but who's hooking up with who, how many kinky things they've done, waking up and training while wasted from the parties they went to the night before, and how loud his balls are against her thighs when they're having sex. The female main character has a hardcore/severe eating disorder, and there is a legit sentence where they excuse a guy knocking someone up by saying, "Oh, it wasn't his fault. He doesn't know a lot about pregnancy. He's a good guy. He's a 25-year-old man who doesn't understand how sex works. So you gotta give him a pass." But yeah, if you want to know what this one is about, it's just a Wattpad book that has been edited. But I guess these are the books that get publisher deals nowadays. There are too many characters that are introduced in a very confusing way. They get yelled at by their coaches every 10 pages and talk about sex and alcohol for the remaining pages. Rinse and repeat. They all end up sharing a rink and spend a lot more time together. Yada, yada, yada. Not the worst book I ever read, but it's written like a Wattpad story. Repetitive, long, and childish. I just don't get it. I am a geriatric millennial. This sucked. If you have told me a week ago that I was going to love a book about two 22-year-old college athletes who fall in love during skating practice and who have to battle disordered eating, over-the-top villains, and their own priorities of independence, I would have said, you're wrong. And my friends, I am here to tell you that I also would have been a liar with my pants fully aflame because this goddamn book was so goddamn sweet, it almost gave me an upset tum-tum. Why do I love an entire college hockey team? Because they're good, strong men who aren't afraid of their feelings. One of them has two moms. One of them is disabled. There is diversity. They say, I love you to each other. Anastasia and Nate are vulnerable to each other. The sex is like shockingly good. Why am I yelling, goddammit? 2023 and me. Oh God, give me a time machine. All these characters have going for them is the fact that they can fuck. I will never understand how the same woman who wrote, quote, Bible verses for stress and anxiety, end quote, also wrote, quote, look at you taking it all like a good fucking girl, end quote. Nah, y'all lied to me. What the hell was this? Book Talk has terrible taste. Now, was this from a 1-star review or a 5-star review? You ate 20 chicken nuggets in about 4 minutes. It was like you were in an eating competition, but you were the only contestant. I have never been in more love with you. Put your answers in the comments below, but don't be a pumpkin eater, gosh dang it. So yeah, that was that. To preface, I did not read this book, but I feel like I basically did read this book. Okay, like, subscribe, and bye! To everyone who recommended this book, I am under your bed. Watch out. I'm coming.